Hey, what is up, everybody? This is steviebreech coming to you here today. This is a box right here that says it's full of WWE Funko Pops, but it is a recycled box from our good buddies over at Highspots. Highspots pretty much the leader in almost independent wrestling. Doesn't matter if you like ROH, PWG. Well, ROH isn't ROH anymore, but you know what I mean. You can do anything at Highspots, from buy DVDs to basically, rent a ring or even, get your own wrestling gear from these guys. But they ran a Black Friday sale, and as if you know, I'm going to hit it up. I'll tell you the truth. I might have bought, because everything got moved over to their Highspots subscription service where you watch everything online. They don't have their own stuff on DVD anymore. So it was a little bit harder to pick these up, but I've been looking for these for a while. So I'm glad I got them. So it might actually be one of the last DVD ones that I get from them. But I'll tell you this much. I hope my good buddy Jem is watching right now. I'll send him a link to make sure he comes on over, because I honestly think there's some documentaries that I think he'd be really interested in. I remember before he stopped making YouTube videos full time, the really good ones, he got a Terry Funk video. No, I apologize. He got a Harley Race documentary from Highspots and loved it. And I thought that was going to be him, diving into getting more. I know that I picked up the sort of documentary that they made on Jim Crockett Promotions, because I felt like I didn't really know a ton about it. And they touched on it in the WCW, Death of WCW one. And I just felt like they sort of kind of just like gave us enough and then skipped on over, because what most people are going to remember from WCW is like once Turner bought it, and what happened to it there with the Nitro years and things like that. But I got documentaries on three. One's a tag team, but I mean 3 different subjects that I know about, but I don't really know a lot about, and I'm going to be pumped to learn about it. And I'm glad I'm starting off with this one right here. We have Bruiser Brody, Wrestling's Last Rebel. I'll tell you this much. I know the story about Bruiser Brody in Puerto Rico, where basically he got stabbed in the shower. I know that Tony Atlas was there, and he saw it go down. A lot of people said that, Carlos Colon was one of the guys that covered up for it because of how big he was in Puerto Rico wrestling and didn't want to sort of kill the territory. But I don't know a lot about it. I don't know why he's looked at as sort of one of the best wrestlers there was at the time. There's a lot of people who think that he was going to go to WWF and he was going to have some sort of a run against Hogan, whether if it was just like a Saturday night's main event or it was actually going to be a real pay-per-view. But there's people who think that Bruiser Brody going to WWF would have been huge. And also, I think all of us have seen Bruiser Brody versus Lex Luger inside of the steel cage, where Luger just shoots and basically is like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Even the match just started. Brody's not selling anything for Luger. So 3-disc set looks a lot like a WWF, WWE release. Really, really nice looking case. Oh, I didn't get that. I meant, hey, like I said, there's probably something else for me to get next year. I almost got the Ric Flair shoot, which I don't think is like the best shoot interview of all time, mostly because that Ric Flair has the huge dip in his mouth, and whether if he does that or doesn't do that, it doesn't really bug me, but it just sort of killed my perception of Ric Flair, as I never seen him do that before. It was sort of like what I paid attention to the whole time was him, sucking on that thing, and I was trying my best, but it's what I was focused on the whole time. From here, we have the Rock and Roll Never Dies, the story of the Rock and Roll Express. I've seen some matches of these guys on WCW shows and such, but I don't know everything. But here's what I don't get. Why the fuck is it only disc 1? Why does it only say disc 1 on here? That's what I don't understand. Rock and Roll Never Dies examines the storied history of one of wrestling's greatest tag teams, the Rock and Roll Express, from their humble beginnings to the territory styles through their height of population with Jim Crockett Promotions, and see them in action on the independent scene today. On this exclusive DVD, you'll hear not only from Ricky and Robert, but all the teams who witnessed this one-of-a-kind tag team. This DVD highlights the Rock and Roll Express, seated in a big man's world when they shouldn't have. For the first time ever, Elbow Productions presents the Rock and Roll Express story like any before. Now the legends themselves will tell you what it was like to be rock and roll stars in the wrestling business. This set also includes numerous matches and tons of bonus features. So that's weird. Okay, I'll take it. It is what it is. I don't know. It just threw me off. It says disc 1 on there. But then here we have, it says, I Never Quit. The Magnum TA story. This guy right here was supposed to be, what the NWA and Jim Crockett Promotions was all built around. He had the look. In my opinion, honestly, you see this guy and you see, Scott Hall before we knew him as Razor Ramon. They exactly look the same. But a lot of people said that if Magnum didn't get in his car accident, he would have been freaking the equivalent of Hulk Hogan. He was going to be a huge star. The only thing I really know about Magnum is the car crash story. That was a big part of the death of WCW. I know that he, fought for the television championship, and he had a run with that belt, and his career was cut short because of the car crash. He never got to become the champion. But I don't know a ton more than that. But I'm excited to learn about it. It keeps bugging the shit out of me. Look, this is exactly what it says right here. Disc 1 on the set. So, that's kind of what keeps throwing me off. I hope I didn't buy the wrong thing where I'm, not getting some matches or something like that. But I think if they did, I think it's on me. But then again, why doesn't it come in a case like this? If it's like a 3-disc set. That's how the Flair shoot came. That's how that is. But I don't know. Yeah, is what it is. Here we have this right here. I almost bought this a few years ago when I met Terry Funk at WrestleFest. I thought it would have been a cool DVD to get signed of his. And then I ended up, I think I got his book. I think I bought his book and I got his book signed, if I remember right. But this is ECW's Terry Funk WrestleFest. For the people that remember, shoot, the documentary that followed him. Mick Foley getting thrown off the cell, Terry Funk. Oh, crap. Jake the Snake Roberts getting paid in crack at the independent shows. I actually went and saw it in theaters back in the day. I know that on the special edition DVD, it's got Jesse Ventura and Mick Foley on the cover, and they do a special commentary watching it. It's made by the same guy who made that Johnny Knoxville movie, The Ringer, and that's why Terry Funk now has a role in it. Shoot, I can't remember. This is the show that they go to. It's supposed to be Terry Funk's retirement match. You have ECW, WWE. I can't remember. Is WCW a part of this? I guess that really wouldn't make sense of what they did. But the main event is Bret Hart versus Terry Funk. You've also got Hayabusa. We got Tanaka Shinzaki against the Headhunters and Jake Roberts. We've got Sabu versus Mankind. I bet there's 2 ECW versus WWF matches right there. Shane Douglas versus Tommy Dreamer. We got the Young Bloods against the Bushwhackers. I don't know if the Bushwhackers in 97 are WWF. I can't really think of them being around that long. Sandman versus Bubba Ray Dudley. Taz versus Chris Candido. And then a Roadkill match kicks us off. But this was what was supposed to be Terry Funk's retirement in 1997. Oh, where Dennis Stamp is the ref of the main event. And he's jumping on the freaking trampoline. But I just can't think of what that documentary is called. Then we got some best of ROHs. I was surprised I didn't have this one. Enter the Red Dragon, the best of Red Dragon. Of course, these guys would, go through ROH before signing with WWE, Undisputed Era. Now they're broken up because, one's in AEW and one is wrestling for Impact. And some people say he's going to go back to WWE sooner than later. But we got Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. This run lasted from 2007 is the first match, but it doesn't really kick off until 2012. Runs 2012 to 2014, where they have the match against the Young Bucks at War of the Worlds. So here's this one right here. And then we're going to finish this off with Boom Boom, Colt Cabana. I don't know how he feels about this, but I think I remember him having a very public tweet about this, basically being out against this DVD. Basically, because I think when it was released, I don't think he was with Ring of Honor. 2013, he ended up going back and doing some commentary for them. But if I remember right, he basically comes out and he says something to the point where, they're able to make a DVD of him, but he isn't able to wrestle on their shows. So he was kind of out against that. But this one goes from 2002 through 2006. If I remember right, Colt Cabana was wrestling in Ring of Honor in 2011 when I went to my first show, WrestleMania 27 weekend. So I don't know why there's not more. 2 discs of really good matches. It's kind of like his first run in Ring of Honor before he goes to WWE developmental. I don't know why there's not another one of him coming back. But this includes, I guess, some of his segments from his YouTube show, Good Times and Great Memories, right here. So we've got Colt Cabana, Red Dragon, ECW's Terry Funk WrestleFest of 1997, which includes WWF wrestlers. We've got Magnum TA. We've got Rock and Roll Express. And we've got Bruiser Brody. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Best of Highspots, Black Friday. Peace out.